In terms of trophies won, and probably in terms of matches won, you are officially the most successful manager of the 21st century.
No idea.
Did you not know that?
No.
Does it matter to you?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
So how do you judge success? How do you rate yourself and other people?
I think all around the world, football is an industry where people have short memory. So for me, the measure of my success is to win the next match.
When you were growing up in Portugal, what were you like as a child, and what did you want from life?
You know, I was born son of a professional football player and son of a teacher. I love football since I was born, but at the same time I have somebody that controls my studies. And I was growing up in this, I don't say a dilemma, but in this, I give you if you give me. So you have your football, but you have to give me back some success in academic at academic level.
So it was like a business arrangement. It was a trade-off.
A kind of.
And did you like learning? Did you actually like books, and did you like exams?
I cannot say I like. I laugh many times now with my wife because of our children, and my son is a little bit of the same. He could be phenomenal in school. He's not phenomenal. He's average because his passion is not school. His passion is football. By the other side, our daughter is the opposite thing. Very focused on academic formation, and I think this is quite funny.
Alex Ferguson was very interesting about you because I was talking to him about you. He likes you very much and says you're really handsome. But he said you are the one successful manager who was not a professional player. And he says it's an example to anybody. If you learn from the right people, if you want to do it, you don't have to have played professionally, but you're the only one that's done it and done it really well.
No, I think I open the door for others. I think when I start having real success by 2004, winning UEFA Cup and Champions League and so on, I think from the next generation they had better chances than the previous generations, because before it was like the dogma of only top professional football players can do it.
The only footage I've seen of you actually playing is when you were managing the rest of the world side at Soccer Aid.
Yeah?
Yes, and you suddenly ran on and you tackled Ollie Mers.
I know.
Yes. What were you thinking?
I had that feeling so many times in big matches. Being on the touchline, the ball going there, a player dribbling in front of me. How many times I had the instinct of, oh, I would love to kick you just now and stop you. How many times I did it, and that was obviously.
But that's, you said it there. You had the instinct, I will kick you, and you did kick him. You didn't kick the ball.
Yeah.
You kicked him.
Yeah, he was too fast. My right back was Michael Sheen. He's busy with, and for sure tired with Master of Sex that he's doing every week in Hollywood. And the kid was too fast and too young. And I thought, if I have the chance to get you, I will get it.
And poor Ollie Mers. He's such a nice boy. What would you have done if you were manager on the sidelines and one of your players had been tackled like that?
I would laugh for sure. I would laugh for sure. There is no other reaction, you know.
Who would you regard then, apart from your father, as being the most influential person in your development as a manager?
My wife. She knows nothing about football. She doesn't like football. But she's very intelligent, and she helped me a lot in in many occasions during my career, in the sense of modeling my personality. She's also very very competitive, and I think she was the one.
And actually, you said when you were voted 8th most influential person in the world, you
This
said
is
that
ridiculous.
that must make my wife the 7th.
For sure, for sure.
Has she ever advised you in terms of job situations? Has she ever said to you, don't take that job because it won't be right for you?
Once, but if I tell you, maybe she got some enemies in England.
Because it was the England job?
Yes.
Do you regret ever not doing that?
No, I don't regret, because she was right. Too early for me. I live the day by day. I love to play. I love the pressure of the day by day, the training, the traveling, the matches, the competitiveness. And I remember clearly that it was a moment where the next match for England would be in Paris, France-England, a friendly match. And I was already thinking about who to select, who to play, how to do it. And she came to me and she told, and after, when is the next match? The next match is in 2 months. And what do you do in 2 months? What are you doing? What are you thinking? And she was saying, forget it. It's not for you, maybe in 20 years.
She's very wise.
She is. She knows me.
Yeah, yeah.
She knows me.
And also, those sort of offers, you can get flattered into saying yes. And actually, flattery is not a good reason to say yes to a job.
Exactly.
It's what's it going to involve, what is it going to
must be
suit.
the right
Yeah.
one. Exactly.
Now, she's called Mathilde.
Yeah.
And you're called José, obviously. You're very well read. You've worked in every country in the world. You have great access to names in different countries. Okay. So what are your children called?
Our names.
I know, but why? So
Why?
your children are called José and Mathilde. Is that
I know,
not
and my
confusing?
father is José, and my wife's father is José, and my wife's mother unfortunately passed away, but was also Mathilde, and this kind of from generation to generation.
Okay, it's like a royal family. I just worried it was going to get confusing. You know, like if somebody shouts in the house, José!
No, we have our nicknames, no problem.
Mourinho, an exclusive interview with the manager who introduced himself to the Premier League in a rather modest fashion. Back in June 2004, José's first press conference at Stamford Bridge will go down in history as arguably this country's most famous ever sports interview.
I'm European champion, so I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
Journalists had found their new page filler. His revelation came with plenty of risk, though. Fleet Street were waiting and wishing for him to falter. But José and his players answered their critics by breaking every record that stood in their way. Chelsea finished the 2004 season with the highest ever Premier League points total, the fewest goals ever conceded, the most amount of clean sheets recorded in the league's 12-year history, and the highest number of Premiership victories in one season. But his first season was just the beginning. And I want to ask you what your proudest achievement is, first of all, as Chelsea manager.
As Chelsea manager? You know, I think was the first Premier League title that we won 2004, 2005. So many years without the title for Chelsea.
And do you still allow yourself to feel that sense of hope that if you achieve that again, you will get that feeling again?
Oh yes. Oh yes. And that's why I'm not the kind of guy that wants to celebrate a lot the title, because I always believe that is not the last one.
Well, you were quite extreme about this in 2006 because you gave your medal away, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was to, you know, to make people feel really part of it, because a medal for somebody that gets it in the crowds, I think is something fantastic. In that case, wasn't, because he sold immediately.
He sold it on eBay
Yeah.
for £17,000.
Yeah, he did well. He
Yeah,
did well.
very well.
You know, but for me, the medal, the cup, the medal, the memory and the feeling, that stay.
Do you feel that sense now at this stage of the season? Do you feel that hope?
Yes, I feel we can do it. We are ready to do it. We prepared ourselves to do it. And we really believe that we are going to do it. But at the same time, you know, feet on the ground, and we have to understand the country where we play. I think this level of competition in this country makes things more difficult than everywhere, but at the same time it's more beautiful, because every point is a point, you know, every game is a game, and every weekend is a weekend, and emotion from the beginning till the end.
Are you tough on yourself when you make mistakes? And how do you rationalise them? If you think you've made an error, what do you do about it?
I don't make.
You don't make mistakes, ever?
Of course I make. No, of course I make. You know, depend on the mistake. The mistake normally doesn't come because of complacency. Because of lack of quality, I don't think so too. Because I know I'm good in what I do, and I know that the people that surrounds me, they are also good. So maybe the mistake is not a real mistake. Maybe the mistake is just a consequence of the unpredictability of our job. It's not easy to be a manager. It's not easy to be a player, and the mistake is around the corner. And many times the mistake is consequence of credit that you have to give to the others. My goalkeeper concedes a goal. It doesn't have to be a mistake. Probably the striker was amazing. My striker was not successful. Maybe the defenders, they did an amazing job. So in football, the relation between the mistake and the direct responsible for that, many times there is a third person that is responsible for that.
I'm really interested about how you incorporate players from different countries. So Diego Costa would have been regarded by many people as taking a big risk on a player who had been volatile, and yet he seems to have settled in really well. So how do you do that? How do you make sure that they are comfortable with life in London, with the different way of playing in the Premier League, with our press, with everything that goes with, you know, a job at that level in the Premier League?
You know, the club is fantastic on that area. We have even a department that we call players' welfare, and which is responsible to try to help the players and the families to settle down, reason to live here, reason to live there, schools here, schools there, where can your wife have what she wants, the health club, the shop, the supermarket, the teacher language, to teach them England the best possible way. At that level, the club has every tool to try to make the players,
because that can be as influential,
happy.
Can't
of course,
it?
it's influential.
Yeah, and obviously the thing you can't control is the weather, and some of them struggle with the weather a bit. 22nd of November, you were playing West Brom, and Costa opened the scoring, brilliant goal, but it wasn't his footwork that caught the eye so much as the fact that he was wearing gloves, and it was 14 degrees, and we all knew it was going to get a lot colder than that.
You know, the adapt. It's like the Christmas period. I think the first one is difficult. The first one, for them, for myself, not to be in our country, not to be with the families, not to enjoy the Christmas, not to have 1 week holiday, to enjoy it properly. In the first time, you are a bit lost. But after that, when you leave it, when you play, when you go to the stadium on Boxing Day, and you you look at the stands and you see ladies with kids, lots of children, lots of happiness, and you realize what you are giving to these people worth the sacrifice. After that you adapt, and I missed it when I went to Italy and in Spain, and when I had 2 weeks holiday in Christmas period, and I was at home watching Premier League matches on Boxing Day. I missed it.
It's always been caught in possession by Matic. Schürrle again, Eto wants it fed into his pass. Schürrle goes alone and scores! 2-0 Chelsea! What an amazing start here at Stamford Bridge.
And as a manager, you have to be able to control your emotions.
I try.
But it's interesting watching you when you are reacting to a goal, because you don't know whether you're going to go wild or whether you're just going to sit there as if you're in a queue for, you know.
If I remember, 3 stupid celebrations, I find common points. Old Trafford with Porto, Real Madrid, Man City, also in the Champions League, and Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain in the last season, running 30 meters, jumping, sliding on my knees. Why? Goals in the last minute that give you a qualification in a knockout competition. Any other goal is a goal that you don't know the meaning of the goal. So because you don't know the meaning, you don't celebrate in a crazy way. The goals in the last minute, in the last seconds, when you win because of it, especially in a knockout competition where you are out and certainly you are in, are the ones where you explode in a different way, I think.
The 89th minute when Torres scored against Manchester City, you ran actually.
Yeah.
You ran into the crowd.
Yeah, because my kid was there.
Oh, but there's one guy in a pink T-shirt who doesn't let go of you.
Because he wants to hug me too, I don't know. I don't know. He wants a selfie. Look at his telephone, he wants a selfie.
What do you consider to be a player's greatest asset? Is it their technical skill, their power, their work ethic, their loyalty?
The man. Somebody that thinks about the others, that thinks about the team, that is not selfish, that is not egocentric. When you find these guys now, it's like a special bird that you find
like the Holy
once
Grail.
in a while, exactly. So these ones are the ones that you have to take really good care of them.
And you said once that you look for warriors, not footballers. Who for you has been the greatest warrior?
I would be very unfair with lots of them if I name some people, but it's easy to identify. You know, in my first period at Chelsea, that team was full of people like John Terry, Lampard, Drogba. We were an amazing team. I won everything with Inter, with a team that was not the best team in the world. Was not the best team in the world, and we won everything. And we won everything because we had warriors. Materazzi, Zanetti, Milito, and again, I'm missing lots of them.
And they need to want to do it for you. I mean, Ibrahimovic said he would die for you, which is quite extreme, but...
Yes, of course it's extreme, but, you know, when they say for me, I think they want to say for the team. The best way to work well is to love the people that you work with. So when maybe with you happens the same thing. When you are surrounded by people that you like, you can express yourself at the top level.
And it's easier to do with players who want to give to you. But sometimes there are players that you have to manage, like a difficult child, because they've got it, but they don't always easily show it. And you have said before now that you could write a book on your time with Mario Balotelli at Inter.
But a funny book.
A funny book. So what? A good book?
A good book. Nice kid. In my time, needed support, needed the old players also to support him because it's not good when that educational relation is just between the manager and the player. I always think that it's important, the people that surrounds and the other players to help the manager in that process. But obviously we had funny problems. I told him to be at 2 o'clock in my office for a meeting, and he was not there. And when I called him, he went to the Formula One qualification races on a Saturday for the race on the Sunday. on the Sunday, and I told him, Mario, I told him, you have to come to my office at 2 o'clock. And he was saying, meetings in your office I can have every day, but to see the Formula One, the Formula One is only once a year in Italy. So this is a funny situation. Obviously, in the moment, it's difficult to accept because we are speaking about top professional football. But a kid of 18, 19 to have one of these naive reactions.
So you didn't laugh at the time?
Not at the time, but a couple of days later, I have to laugh, and especially to remember in a sweet way, because he's a good kid.
So he didn't mean to be bad. He just...
Nah, Mario's a good kid.
No. A few questions for you from Twitter, if you're happy to answer them. Alistair says, what does Jose think of English cuisine? Fish and chips, Sunday roast, cockles and mussels?
Honest answer? Don't like.
You don't like it?
No.
None of it?
No.
Not even roast beef and Yorkshire pudding?
Not really.
Roast chicken?
Okay, but...
Bangers and mash? No, okay. Celia says, apart from winning, what other things make you happy?
My family makes me happy, more than winning. And my family is everything for me. Football is clearly second.
And the things that you enjoy doing together, I mean, just simple things that people do at home. Do you watch television together?
Sometimes, but it's normal.
And are there programs that you get to choose? I mean, what would you, if you're in control of the remote?
No, if I want to be in control of the remote, I have to be on my own. It's the only way I have control on the remote, because I control nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
If the children... Because when I grew up with a younger brother, and I knew that if I asked my father anything, he would say yes, but if my brother asked him, he'd say no. So does your daughter have you wrapped around her little finger?
I used to say that my wife is mother and father at the same time, and I'm just the good guy that comes home sometimes, because I'm the one that most of the times is not at home, travels a lot, misses important moments. I think my daughter was 8 when I celebrated for the first time her birthday. I was never at home.
Really?
I was not at home when she was born. My wife is the one that is father and mother at the same time.
So when you come back from a match, if it's not gone your way, are you good at just leaving it outside, yes, walking to the house and your dad?
Yes, but they are also good to understand me, because they know when a defeat hurts me a lot, and when the defeat is something that I accept as part of a run during a season, and they know when I accept the defeat, that I can arrive home and have a normal dinner, normal conversation, normal night without any kind of problems. And they know when I go home and I want to be on my own. And they know clearly that.
And you can go into a little space and just...
And just watch videos to try to understand things.
Watch the match back straight away?
Yes,
really?
Sometimes I need to understand things. When I didn't understand during the match, I need to understand after the match.
Are you competitive with your children? Like, if you play things, are they allowed to win?
They win everything. I always lose. Not anymore, but when they were little kids, for sure.
Just let them win?
Sure.
Yeah. Because you don't want to be the bad guy, or because...
No, because they are more important than my victories.
Yes. In 2011, you were named Rock Star of the Year by Spanish Rolling Stone magazine.
Oh.
If you could be a rock star, who would you be?
No. I'll be Bryan Adams.
I met him this summer. I interviewed him. He's lovely.
I know.
He is a really lovely guy.
I know.
Have you met him backstage?
Yes.
Did you go a bit, you know?
No, because we met each other a few times. I know his agent for a long, long time, big Chelsea supporter, and I met Bryan also with families, and we went to his shows 3 or 4 different times. The last one was at Wembley Arena just a few weeks ago. His generation, our generation, we are not so far, and some of his musics bring us obviously the best memories of great times we had.
We've seen you react to goals in an excited way. We've seen you not react at all. You are actually, though, genuinely a good actor, because I saw the advert you did for American Express, and you have to, in the advert, you predict what's going to happen, so you put your umbrella up before it starts raining, or you stop the car before some children come back. But what you do in it is you manage to keep everything very small, which they say great actors do. So you don't overdo it, you don't overact. You just keep it very still.
Yeah, but you don't know how many hours it took to do it.
How many takes?
I don't know.
Did they keep saying, and again, just slow, just
No, I'm not so bad. I'm not so bad, to be fair. And when I need to speak, my memory is quite good, and I don't make so many mistakes. I don't have to take so many takes. So enjoyable moments. So
I mentioned earlier on that Alex Ferguson says you're very handsome. He actually compared you to George Clooney. He did. He said that. But he also said that you served him wine that tasted like paint stripper. Like it was horrible.
No, but it was not my fault.
Why?
That was the first time. And the first time was Chelsea Football Club Catering that brought the wine. And obviously the wine was not the top quality that the boss deserves. And it was quite funny but disappointed. So the next time we play against each other, the next time I called a friend in Portugal that is expert on that, and I told him the best. I want the best. So I brought the best, and from that moment, always the same bottle when I play against the boss.
And you obviously like him. I mean, he likes you, but you like him.
Of course.
And what is it about him that makes him special?
Everything. His talent, the time he put his talent at the service of Man United and football in general, the passion that he was putting in everything, and after that in private moments, obviously, a good friend, a good person, a fantastic sense of humor. I like him very, very much, and now and again I had a few questions to put him, and the way he answered to me was always magnificent and a great support.
José Mourinho may have the utmost respect for the manager he calls the boss, but out on the field, his Chelsea team posed one of the biggest threats to Manchester United's dominance. Mourinho holds the greatest win ratio of any Premier League manager, and in April 2006, Fergie brought his team to Stamford Bridge, knowing they needed all 3 points if they were to stand any chance of winning the title. Chelsea blew them away, and their 3-0 triumph resulted in them lifting their second consecutive Premiership trophy. Coming up in the final part of the show, José bears the truth about the biggest transfer rumour. Welcome back to the final part of my exclusive interview with José Mourinho, a manager who in his quest for silverware this season has enrolled the help of some old faces. and some new ones. His first-team squad brings 24 players from 14 nations into one dressing room, including World Cup winners Cesc Fabregas and Andre Schürrle. Yet lately, it's been the name of one Argentinian magician which has been the talk of the terraces at Stamford Bridge. Can I ask you a direct question about a player regarded by many as the greatest in the world right now? Do you want to sign Messi for Chelsea?
No, we have no chance of that.
Why have you got no chance of that?
Yeah, because there is, in this moment, there is the financial fair play, and with the financial fair play, we have to follow certain rules, certain numbers, and obviously we have no conditions to buy, as you were saying, a super amazing player, obviously paid with super amazing numbers that Chelsea in this moment we cannot do it.
So can't afford him?
No.
No. How much are they asking for him?
I don't even know, because I don't think they ask, because I don't think they want to sell. So even more difficult for everyone.
In this country in particular, but it's true of other countries in Europe, club football and international football are doing this.
Yeah.
And here, the Premier League as an organisation is so powerful, so strong, that the FA can't do much about it. Do you think there is a solution?
It's not so black and white like that, because even speaking about club football, what I feel in England sometimes is that club international football is not protected by club football in the Premier League and domestically.
So you mean that, like the Champions League?
Yes. You know, we played against Sporting a few weeks ago as the last example. Okay, it was an important match for Sporting and not for us. But Sporting played in Portugal on the Friday to have Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday to play at Stamford Bridge on the Wednesday. In England, this is completely impossible. Even if you reach later stages like Chelsea did last year. Last year we played against Atletico Madrid in the semi-final, second leg. Atletico Madrid played on the Friday, and after that they had again all these days to prepare the game. We wanted to play not Friday, we wanted to play Saturday, because we know Friday would be impossible mission. We want to play at Anfield on the Saturday, we had to play on the Sunday. And 2 days later we are going to represent England in the semi-finals of the Champions League. So the conflict is not just about national teams and domestic competitions. In terms of clubs, there is also clearly a conflict of interests also between the international football.
Flicked on beautifully by Schürrle to Torres. Into the middle, and a fourth goal, Oscar! I mean, here's Salah with a chance for his first Chelsea goal, one-on-one, he's done it too! And now it's 6-0, almost unbelievably.
Alfie on Twitter says, if Portugal came knocking and offered you the job as international manager, would you take it?
No. They tried to take me lots of times, and was only one time that I accepted, because was part-time job. So I wanted to do at the same time club and national team, and at that time I wanted to accept. But my president at the time decided not to let me do the national team job, and after that I reflect, and I have to agree, it's not possible to do both jobs at the same time. It's not even ethic, because for a manager to have two jobs with so many managers without one job, I think even by the ethic point of view is not acceptable.
All of last season, you said Chelsea were not title contenders. You said it publicly, your players obviously heard you say it. Was that just you being absolutely realistic, or was it a way of making them feel that they had to
No,
react?
First of all, being a bit realistic. Secondly, most of the players, they were not ready by the mental point of view to cope with that extra responsibility of playing for the title. And we could win because we arrived in a situation with 3 matches to go where mathematically we had still important chances to do it. But the reality is that we were not one of the best teams in the competition.
So this season, what do you say to them?
Since day one, we are title contenders. We are one of the best teams. We are the team that plays better football, and obviously big opponents, but we are title contenders.
You said earlier that the Premier League is it for you. That's why you want to be in this country, because you love the Premier League. Gareth Bale said La Liga is better.
Because it's there. Because it's there. You have to accept what Gareth says. But I was also there, and I won La Liga. I lost La Liga, but I won La Liga. And I know clearly the differences between La Liga and the Premier League. And go to matches knowing that you are going to win for sure is not the best. It's not the best league. And in Spain, everybody knows that 2 teams are top of the world. A third team like Atletico is doing wonderful well, and they won last year, which is not normal. But after that, there is a huge competitive difference, and that's why the record is 100 points, 126 goals. In England, 100 points and 126 goals is impossible. If somebody reaches 100 points and scores 126 goals, is not the best competition for sure. Can be the best team, but not the best competition.
Starts looking like basketball.
Yeah.
Too many. Do you enjoy the game that is played here as well with the press? I mean, you were very good at it, and you seem to me to be very good at, when you go into a press conference, of deflecting. If you need to deflect attention from the players, you do that. You'll pick something, you'll pick ball boys, or you'll pick something that you'll make the story. And they all write it.
Too many press conferences.
Yeah.
I think. Too many. And I think difficult job for them too. Because basically they are the same pros. I know them very, very well because I see them 3 or 4 times a week. The relation obviously is very, very good, but I think they have a very difficult job. For me, it's not easy, but for them, I think it's very difficult too, because if I play 3 matches a week, which I do all the time, I go to the press 6 times. 3 times the day before the game, and 3 times after the game. So in a week, I go 6 times to the press. The pleasure of trying to find something that can be front page for them, or in this case, back page for them, very, very difficult. I think is too much, and sometimes I think they should be tired of me, you know.
Them keeping themselves motivated is one thing. You keeping yourself motivated is really interesting. What do you set yourself personally, not for your players, your club, your own personal ambitions? How do you keep yourself moving forward? Do you look at things and aim at them and say, I want that?
I know, I love my job. So simple as that. And I think that's a privilege, because how many people in the society, they have the dream job, and they love that job so much as I do. How many? Not many for sure. Most of the people, they work to have a life, they work to survive. I have the dream job. I love it so much, so I don't need motivation. I don't need motivation. I like to train. I like to study the opponents. I like to play. I like to analyze the game. I like the feeling of the victory. I like the reaction after the defeat. I like everything.
And what will you need to achieve to consider yourself a success?
I consider myself a success already. If I finish my career today, what I did would be enough to be a successful manager. But as I was saying, when we started, I prefer to think that memory in football is short, and the next game is the most important thing, and the next title is the most important thing, and I think this is fantastic. And speaking about Sir Alex, the last time we played against each other was Champions League, Old Trafford, Man United, Real Madrid. And before the game, we were in his office, and you know, we were a bit tense because knockout game. And I was asking him, does it make any change now or 20 years ago? He told me, no, exactly the same. So I asked him, so in 20 years' time, I'm going still to be nervous before the game? I'm going still to feel the pressure? Yes, you are going to feel. So I didn't forget that.
We'll meet again in 20 years' time, I hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. Thank you.